The beauty of the patch technology, it helps our cells to talk to each other. And when they talk to each other, they can do more and improve our system. The patches start working from day one, so you may not feel it. So we ask that you be patient. Lucky are those that feel it from day one. I was not one of those, but there are individuals that feel it from day one. But we ask that you're patient and give it time. And we usually recommend 1 month for every decade you have been alive to start. Those of us who have known that, or that I should say, that know the technology is benefiting all of us, are on it for life. And I will be one of those. Some housekeeping rules. We use symptoms only when we talk about our testimonials because we don't want to be out of compliance. So symptoms only. We don't use diagnosis names. Tell us how you felt before the technology. Tell us what technology you use, the X39 Plus or just the X39. And tell us how you feel now. And thank you all for sharing. Please raise your hands. We want to hear the joy that you are feeling thanks to the technology. And thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks, Dr. Annabelle. So, like I said, the Cellergize is now out. I've been using the Cellergize for quite some time. Many of us have. So it's available to you guys now. It definitely takes it next level. It's got all the activators for all the different cells, all the different patches. So highly recommend you start using the Cellergize as well. So if you would like, raise your hand and come in and share your experiences.
Hello, everybody. I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. I've been a big fan of you for many years. I saw you, I don't know if you remember me, in Sedona and in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, okay, and I had a great talk with Roxanne, who told me about your sharing today. So I have three shares to share, three testimonies. I have above average health, so I've never really had a story to share for decades, so I use other people's story. However, here I do have three. Number one, I was playing racquetball, suffered a severe scrape on my knee. It got red, it itched, it developed into cellulitis, it abscessed. I couldn't walk. It was really bad. It was an infection so close to the bone, I could have lost my leg 3.5 years ago. So Robin says, put the patch on the knee, put the patch on the knee, which I did. And then a day later, the doctor said, your infection, a day later, your infection receded. Then I saw the wound specialist the next day after. She looked in my eyes with a big smile and she said, sir, I've never seen anything like this in my 28 years. You must come from another planet. And I said, I do. That's a whole other story. Also, I had floaters in my eyes, and I put on the carnosine and the X-39 with an eye patch at night. Incredible, incredible. It happened, the results happened about 3.5 weeks later. Consistency is the key. I like what she shared. Hydration is the key to create that conductivity, that cellular, intercellular communication. Now, the third is I had a wart on my thumb for decades. I put the X-39 just right around the area. I changed the location every so often, gone. Three, I hit the trifecta. Three, with LifeWave. There you have it.
David, that was a phenomenal share. Thanks a lot. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Jen.
Well, this is an example of how teams help each other. Sun Wolf is above Dr. Carey, and Robin asked us to help Dr. Carey. So a few of us are going to at a talk she's giving. And we've been talking, Sun Wolf and I, quite a bit this week. So Sun Wolf, thank you for calling in. Those are great shares. And mine is very short, but when I didn't see any hands go up, Michael, I had number 7 on your sheet, I think. I am on vacation with my family, and I was in the pool, and I thought, I've got a pool because I haven't been able to swim in our pool. We've been resurfacing it for about a month. So I swam my laps. I did probably a Tracy Joe and Michael Jaco. I just swam and swam. Well, when I got upstairs, I went to walk to my room to get something and I went, both of my calves were killing me. I could barely walk. I didn't realize. I just went and got 2 Eons, put one on each calf, and I'm not kidding, instant. And my daughters were here and I'm going, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. And it really did. I mean, the whole calf. So that's my story. I'll move on.
Oh,
And
that's good. Yeah, I can vouch for that. I've gone on long dives, and if I haven't been diving for a long time, the calves really get hammered. So that's a good insight on using the Eon. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Susan.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
So, two shares. When I use the patches, if life gets too busy, sometimes I forget to take them off, right? And I have them on for too long, and then it gets all sloppy and everything. So I'm like, all right, I need to take a little break, regroup. And when I don't have those patches on, especially if I go to work out, it's so noticeable. I went one day and I was like, oh, I was in the class. I'm like, oh, I forgot the patches. And I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. My legs were so heavy to lift and everything. So, it's like I try and focus more on being consistent and staying within, the 10 to 12 hour guidelines and all that. That really helps. And then my other one is really great. So, my grandson, just a little over 2, loves when I wear the patches, takes them off me and then puts them on him. So a couple weekends ago, he had like he was warm, little fever. He has trouble with his ears, and his parents had those tubes put in. And so anyway, and that helped tremendously. And then, but he was just generally not feeling so great a couple weekends ago. No need for the doctor or anything. I showed up Monday and he was, so spirits. And I was carrying him to the car, to go to his daycare. And I had the patch on my cheek. So he took it off and he lifted his shirt and he put it right over his spleen. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's like a little game. And so off he went. And the next day, because I watch him every morning, Monday to Friday, and his mom was like playing with his ear. And I was like, well, what's the matter with his ear? So I think, like it was draining, and it had drained overnight, so much to the point that later on and I didn't think much of it, but when I went to get him dressed, I noticed in his ear had a big kind of like crystal, almost as big as like the end of a number 2 pencil. Not quite that big, but like part of it. And I realized like it had drained overnight, like all night, just for him putting that little X-39 on his belly, and great spirits and everything. So so that was really a nice little thing that we do. So we play around with patches. Yeah. So
Clean them right out. That's good. Wow.
Right. It was like, and it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. And it was very beneficial, I think, for him in a very big way that just in general, overall health, So it's a little weak area for him that it seems to be strengthening. So there you go. So
Very
great.
good. Thank you.
All right.
Great chair, Suzanne. Thanks. Diane.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads on here.
Thank you.
Day late. One of the ways to find out how powerful the X-39 is to quit using it. And that's what one of my brand partners found out. She had some other financial obligations and she didn't order or use it for 2 months. And the numbness in her hands and fingers started to come back. Her joints started to hurt and get achy. She started to have less energy and she felt less strong and less, just strength in her body, just started to feel older and more tired. And Jen, I forgot to tell you this part, but somebody gifted her with some Eon and some glutathione, and she started wearing those, and immediately the symptoms eased up a little bit, but they're still there to an extent. So she will be ordering X-39 again as soon as possible.
Oh, that's good. Good for her.
Yep.
That's why we recommend, you stay on them. You start, and it's over time, you're going to get more and more results. But then I guess I haven't gone off of them. But if you go off of them, you're going to start to have reversals in probably a lot of areas. That's what a lot of people have been experiencing. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that, Diane. The Dudden family, good to see you guys.
It's you, honey.
Me?
Yeah.
Us. Hello.
Hi, Michael
Hello.
and team. Yeah.
Yes, sorry. I've never been called part of the Dutton family before, so it was a little bit of a shock.
All right.
Unlike our first guy today, I haven't really had good health, but I have had health, which is I'm very grateful for. I've worked on both sides of the bed, as it were, and I feel very fortunate that I have always been responsive to energy and to energy work. And when we came across the patches, it was a surprise to me that even just going near the packets when Sally brought them in was enough to make me think, gosh, something's going on. And that still happens every morning when I put on 39 and 49. Before I even get them out of the packet, they're talking to me. And I get shivers down my spine and into my legs, and then they talk to each other when I finally get them there. And one lady said about if you stop using them. Well, I went out the other day without them on. I just forgot, and I couldn't understand why it was such a difficult day that day. But when I got home and Sally said with her kindest voice, "Have you got your patches on?" Then I knew I realized what the problem was, and luckily she checks on me every day. So they've been quite marvelous as far as my recovery from trouble with my heart, where I became a reservoir, and it was a bit of a long way back after that. So, but with the patches, I've got past rehabilitation now, and I'm just feeling well. So that energy is just fabulous to feel every day. It's a tangible thing that I just know is doing me immense amounts of good.
Wow, that's priceless, right? That's beautiful. Great share. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Jay.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
We got you.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out this studio. All the speakers are echoing and everything. I got 5 monitors. It's crazy. Anyway, it's my knee. I haven't shared that in a long time. It's been over 3.5 years, I think, since I started the LifeWave with you guys. And there's just so many miracles. I can't share all of them. The good Lord didn't make it long enough for me to be able to share. But I have one about my left knee. You know, me being a citrus grower and cattle rancher all those years, I was moving equipment and hauling material and everything with a semi and a trailer. Well, there's a million gears on the floor, and that left knee was going overtime, switching gears, just banging them, the more the merrier, right? And eventually my knee got to where it needed surgery, and I was going to get surgery before I started the patches. It needed it. And I've been using the X-39 during the day and the carnosine at night. And I was doing fine. Well, I made a mistake. I quit putting them on my knee. There you go. It's like, Cinderella and the carriage, you go back to a pumpkin, right? So I'm like, okay. Well, so I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and get back on the patches again. So I started using them a little bit, and then I quit again. That was my second strike. The third strike was last night. My knee locked up on me, and it swelled up. So I put an ice wave on it immediately, laid down, did my meditation situation, my transformation, and within minutes, my knee unlocked itself. Praise Jesus. And I was able to move my knee around again. And I woke up this morning, and my knee is like a new knee again. And that was just putting the ice wave back on it after it locked up.
Wow. That's a good one. So staying consistent, yeah. I mean, because we're all like that. You're like, okay, I'm over that, so I don't really need it now, and you just kind of like move on. But it's the healing process sometimes takes a little bit longer. So it's good you get
It's
good
always work in
results.
progress, boss.
Yep,
Boss, it's work in progress.
I agree.
If we let off of them and quit using them, we're going to revert back. We're going to go backwards. We're not going to excel forwards in our transformation and getting well again. That's why it's so important, everybody, that stay on the patch, because the patch is power. It works through the divine, God, source, creator, and healing our bodies. But we can't let off on it. We got to stay on them. We got to stay consistent. Above all, we got to stay patient with it. That's so very important.
Yep. Very
Anyway, that's my share. I'm done.
good. Thank you, Jay. Now
You're welcome, sir.
I learned today that glycosates, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Right.
Glyphosate.
Roundup.
Yeah, Roundup and all those. They've been spraying them on crops for a long time. They actually take out copper.
Yep.
So they take copper out of the soil. They basically, degenerate it, leach it out. So what do the LifeWave X-39 X-49 have? Copper peptides. So we're constantly, under assault from a lot of different things, which basically the copper peptides in your body, help your stem cells and so forth. But glyphosates, Roundup and all these other products have taken that out. They've leached it out of our soil, out of our bodies. So it's very, very important to continue using the patches long term, because they're not stopping any of that stuff. And that stuff is in the soil, is going to be there, and in the crops and in our animals and in us for a while. So definitely behooves us to continue to use them. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome, sir.
Jen.
I remembered another one that's really important, and I thought it might help a few people here. I have some of my adult children are with me. I won't say their name because she'd get mad at me. But anyway, one of my daughters was deeply, painfully constipated, very, very, very painfully. Mom, will you go pick up some medicine, right? I said, well, let's do the patches. And then my other daughter said, oh, I have one in the phone that you sent me, Mom, last year. And it was for constipation. And what it is, it's so simple, folks. 2 sets of ice waves. One set goes right on your hands here, and the other set on top of your, between your big toe and middle toe. And then one glucosamine 2 inches below your belly button. I'm not kidding. Within 1 hour, it was all taken care of.
Wow.
I was shocked because she didn't go out with us. She stayed home. She was in so much pain. Boom. So I thought that's worth raising my hand again for. Help you guys. Help us all. Okay. That was it.
Beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
So many different ways to use those patches.
Oh, yep.
And Anna, thank you so much for the massage you gave me the other day. It's absolutely incredible massage. It's like over the top. I think because my wife will tease me. It's like every time you get a massage, you say it's the best one you've ever had. But I swear, because you do so many different things, you use Reiki and the energy tool that you used on me. God, just everything was just over the top. So thank you so much.
And because I work with a lot of healing, a lot of times helping people to heal naturally, one of the things that I found that I just wanted to share was, once you're out of pain, if it took you 5 months to get out of pain, you need to make sure that you keep doing the same thing for the next 5 months. You're only halfway. Your body, once the pain leaves, you're only 50% healed. So you got to keep doing it so your body can finish healing. So that's just an important thought to just keep in mind, as I've done a lot of healing myself. And speaking to that, this is my 2nd year. The end of June was when I started on the patches. I have usually a Bible study that I do on Monday, so I haven't always been able to make it. I promised Jen once I was done, I would come on here and share my stories. So my original story was, I started in June, and then a couple weeks after, actually the week after I got started, I got diagnosed with some angry cells. And then they had found some masses in different parts of my body. The main one was in my lungs, and they were going to biopsy that. And when they went in to biopsy, I'd been on the patches. Actually, I figured it out. It was only 3 months on the X-39. And the doctor comes out. I figure he's coming out to stick the needle in me. And he goes, "We don't have to biopsy you because your mass is gone." And I'm like, "What?" I mean, I'm just as surprised as the doctor was. But so that was one of my first things. I had started on the patches mainly just because I am a massage therapist. I absolutely love what I do. And I wanted to be able to get back to work. It's my source of income. And I wanted to get back to work pretty quickly. So I had never had surgery before in my life. And well, I say that, but that's kind of a lie. I did have a C-section for children, but that was a quick recovery too. But I was able to get back to work in 4 weeks being on the patches. And I took absolutely no pain medication after I left the hospital after having surgery, to have those angry cells cut out of me. And now I'm in constant checkups to make sure so far everything's been clear and clean. This is my 2-year, well, October will be the 2-year mark where I had surgery. So just, I can feel my body getting stronger. And one of the things Mr. Jaco wanted was deep tissue. So hopefully he felt that I did strong deep tissue, because I am getting stronger each time. So that was just really encouraging.
Yeah, that was amazing. Wow. I mean, I never had anybody do the deep tissue like you did. So my shoulder has been a mess, but you fixed it.
Because I work with the meridians too.
Yeah.
So it's deep, but it's different.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. You went all the way down from the calf and went all the way up through the sciatic, all the way up through the glute, all the way up to my shoulder. I was like, God, no one's ever done that before. Unbelievable. Good job.
So, yeah. And so, yeah, it's totally a full body, and it covers everything, because the meridians run from head to toe. And so by clearing that all out, it really makes a difference. And by following the meridians, so that's why knowing the meridians when I do the work really helps to give people a whole different experience than a normal massage. That's all I can say.
Very good. So. Yeah. And that's what we do with the patches. We put those on meridian points. Yeah. So totally makes sense.
I use a lot of the patches in my while I work too with other people. So it's really great. I love the patches.
Yep. Yeah. I had my Eon on. So that seemed to be really, really good, because if I don't have the Eon, I found this out. I usually, when I have massage, a deep tissue like you did, I'm sore afterwards. But since I learned that if you have your Eon on when you get a deep tissue massage, you won't have that. And I did.
Yeah, that and making sure you drink enough water, which with the patches you have to, makes a total difference of, it went deep while they were working, but you don't have the soreness afterwards.
Yeah, very good.
So, yeah.
And the patches are deep tissue working too, so we love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Anna.
Then
that was great.
The other thing that I have one more thing, because I just had a doctor's visit today. So all my blood work finally came back. I mean, I had high cholesterol. So this is my 2nd year of being on it. So first choice, it had to get rid of all them angry cells. And now it's working on others. So I've been on blood pressure medicine. I'm just about weaned off of that. And with my doctor's permission and guidance. And also all my blood work, my cholesterol, because she's like wanted me to go on cholesterol medicine. And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, your cholesterol and everything is in better range or in good range and everything. So it is changing everything for my health to be better.
Ah, fabulous.
Yeah.
Wow, good shares. Thanks. Dr. Annabelle.
I love Anna's story. I love everybody's story because we're all just getting so much better thanks to this technology. And I want to kind of like hone in or kind of like back up 2 points that I heard. One is, yes, I am a lover of deep tissue massages. That's the only kind of massage I get. The more deep, the better. And I had one a couple of months ago, and there were points where I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to survive this massage? But I just grinned and bear it. I didn't say anything. I didn't say let off the pressure. I'm like, I can do this. And the same thing what you said, Michael, I was not sore afterwards. Yes, hydration is key. So most certainly, Anna, all those things. So definitely I can survive those deep tissues. And those are my favorite. And then also to kind of emphasize too, when you notice that you're not wearing them. So at night, my usually time frames to put on my patches 9 a.m. and then 9 p.m. So at 9 p.m. I take off my day patches and I put my night patches. And usually my night patches are my Alavita, my Carnosine, and my Eon. And so about 2 months ago, I had done a very strenuous workout at CrossFit that really hurt my shoulder and my elbow. And it took about a month and a half with, consistent use of my patches for it to get better. And then I didn't feel anything. And then lo and behold, that same sort of similar routine came up last week. And I'm like, oh, here we go. My elbow's going to start hurting me again. And it didn't. Everything was great except last night. I forgot to put on my patches at night because my little one was giving me a little extra difficulties to go to bed, and I forgot my nighttime patches. And sure enough, I was rolling over in the bed, back and forth. My elbow was hurting me. And I was like, ugh, this is what I get for not putting on my patches. So, needless to say, it does work, and you can notice when you're not using them. So, I'm also a testament to that too.
Oh, yeah, very good. And, unlike everybody else, sometimes I forget and I go to the gym without my energy enhancer. And I'm like, why am I dragging today? And then I like get home and it's like, oh, I didn't have my energy patches. Oh, geez. So it does make a difference. You'll see the difference over time. Patty.
Hello, LifeWave community. How are you? Happy Monday. So I just want to give a quick shout out. I had met some friends, Phil and Sherry, and I went and met them, introduced them to the technology. Actually, was able to patch Phil, and he did have some neck pain. So I want to say hello. I do believe they're on the call and they're listening, but he had some neck pain. We put Eon and X-39, and then I don't know, maybe we were just kind of talking in the next 5-10 minutes, his pain level, he did have a reduction. So, and that's a great thing because not everybody has that. And then he actually said, I'm kind of thirsty. So he drank some water, and I'm just waiting to see, how, because most people have a really good night's sleep. So I need to follow up with him, the next day or so to see how he slept, and he's very interested in the patches, he and his wife, and it was lovely meeting with them. So thank you for the opportunity to meet with you, and then also to let me share. So just wanted to say that.
Lovely. Thanks, Patty.
Thanks.
Lynn.
So I have a few that are they're each short. So I have a brand partner who was having trouble getting to sleep because she drives a bus during the school year, and now that school's out, her sleep schedule's off. And then she remembered that I had shared that I forgot my sleep patches too, and the patches don't work if you don't wear them. So she put her silent night, it's the only time the patches don't work. So she put her silent night patch on her third eye, and then she said she went right to sleep for 6 hours straight. And then she woke up completely rested and not groggy. So I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. And then I have another brand partner that really likes the IceWave. She had really horrible pain down her right leg and a very dull ache. And so she put the IceWave on the bottom of her feet and the pain significantly reduced. It didn't go completely away, but it went down far enough to where she had a lot of relief. And then I have another brand partner who had really bad pain on her hip. And she did the X-39 stacking protocol. And after she put 2 there, it really made a difference. And then one I forgot to send Jen, and I don't think I've shared this before, but I don't remember. So I'm noticing, because I'm super athletic and I've been doing so many podcasts, I have had swelling in my body from sitting all the time. And I'm going to start doing podcasts on a treadmill. But in the meantime, I put the energy enhancers on my hip flexors, and I'm no longer swollen from sitting. So it's keeping that energy moving as opposed to getting stuck. Because when I went to my sports nutritionist, I was swollen from like the waist down to my knees. And the energy patches just keep everything flowing, that inflammation down, until I have my other solution. So
very nice. Very nice. And Lynn, we need to do another show together, so maybe we can.
Yes, yeah, Tracy Joe is telling me that. So yeah, love it. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Anyone else like to share a lovely story? Roxanne.
Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I shared this story a while ago, but it was very shortly after I lost my dog, so I was an emotional wreck. But this is on my dog Beef, and so Beef came in from being outside. It was in the early afternoon, and came in, and like right away, maybe 15 minutes after being inside, there was just this complete energy shift within my whole house. And it's like, so I knew something was happening. And anyway, so Beef was a pretty big boy. He was 100 pounds, American Bulldog. And he just laid on the floor, and I was like, So I got him on his bed, and you know, I knew what was happening. I knew that it was his time. And after saying all my goodbyes to him, and, you know, letting him know that he'll always be the big baby boy, I had left him to go in my office to conduct a Zoom meeting. And I was like, you guys, it's awfully quiet in my living room. And so we were talking about patches, and I chose to use Eon and energy enhancer on Beef. So he was still there, but not, you know, he was kind of half in, half out. And I patched him with 2 Eon on the back of his neck, on the sides. And then on either side of his chest wall, I used energy enhancer. And within 30 minutes, he was gone. So I think it helped relax him enough, but it also, whatever was stuck from moving out, I think it all helped. And I mean, I'm a very strong believer in energy and, you know, all of that extra, you know, angelic, you know, forces that are out there. So anyways, that's my share. I know it sounds a little woo-woo, but I believe in it all.
No, and you're a Reiki master too, so and I'm sure you probably felt the right, and I know you do. You talk about it all the time. You kind of sense intuitively the right things to do with the patches. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Patty.
Oh, I'm back here. So I do have another share. I'm so sorry about your dog, Rex, and I feel your pain. So we just lost our Chihuahua. He was almost 16, but you know, he had some issues with his liver about 2 years ago, and we started actually putting the patches directly on him. And I can tell you the difference in that dog. He lasted another 18 months. So we really didn't do anything different, just using the patches, but he had so much energy. I laughed because he could get up the stairs way faster than me. And he'd get up on the couch, and he was just, I could just tell he was happy. And then we got this from, this came in after we had him cremated. They actually sent this out. And then my sister Kathy had this made. So I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? There's my boy. There.
Aw.
That's my boy. And then, I don't think I'm doing this right. There I am with him.
Yeah.
And I just remember him like that, so full of life. And, the house just isn't the same. But, as far as pets, I just know it was working. It gave us an extra 18 months with him. So,
yeah, definitely.
but I have one more share. So I did have a friend, she had complained about pain along her nervous system, and she was itching, painful for 6 months. And I said, hey, I came across something, maybe you're interested. And she said, at this point, she would try anything. So she had gone to the doctor, and the doctor said, oh, I could, we could get rid of that pain so you don't feel it anymore. He wanted to cut her nerves. And she said, oh no, I don't want that. So she ended up trying our product, and she told me after the first day. So the first day we put X-39 on, and we did use a glutathione. That night she used Eon, and she called me the next day. She said, Patty, I don't itch anymore. She said, it's a miracle. And so moving forward, and that was just one night. So, and then that made me think, gosh, if I hadn't shared that with her, look at how that changed her life. So we just have to keep sharing and telling everyone what we have, and hopefully, they can just try it and experience it like I have and like other people have. And I guess, what do you have to lose? You can just try it, and then you'll get your miracle. You will. Eventually you'll get your miracle. You don't always get to pick the fix, but you will get your miracle. Just have to be patient, drink a lot of water, and be consistent. So I just had to share that. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Patty. And the more you share, the better it is, because what you're doing, you're learning with the patches, and you're learning what works for you, and then you can share that with other people. So that's another reason why I love that people that are on the patches for a long time, they have these great insights of how they can help other people, like you're talking about, Patty. So great job. Thank you. Kristen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I was just thinking the other day, gee, I haven't had any stories to tell recently. So don't you know, I created one for myself. I'm going to stop doing that. I managed to walk around in my bare feet and jam my toe into something and sprained my toe on Friday. Yeah, Friday. So I took the X-39 off the back of my neck and stuck it right on top of my toe. And it stayed there for the day. So much so that I basically forgot that I had sprained it and just went on with work, because I was doing a podcast at that point, and forgot about it. And I've been having a lot of swelling in my lower legs. So thank you, Lynn, for your energy enhancer thing. I'm going to try that, because I need that. But anyway, Saturday, I left the Eon patch on the toe again, and it did turn black and blue, surprisingly, but it didn't hurt. And I'm going, wow, this is amazing. And then Sunday, I had to go out and go shopping, and I was a little leery about going, wondering if it was going to start hurting because I was walking. Well, guess what? It didn't. It was just fine. So it's still black and blue, but I can wiggle my toe now, and it's not so swollen. And thank you for patches.
Awesome. Thanks, Kristen. Dr. Kathy.
Oh, hello, Michael. Hello, LifeWave community. I got a really nice share today. This lady has been using X-39 and Eon for maybe about 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And she originally wanted her headaches to kind of go away, the headaches that go ahead and put you in bed for a day. And she got a little bit of relief there, but more importantly, she had the tingling in her feet that would keep her awake at night. And that has dissipated and gone away. And that's the result that she got with the 6 weeks of patching. Now, we don't always get to pick the fix. She wanted the headache issue to be resolved, and I think it's going to get there. But more importantly, she's quite happy with the tingling in the feet and being able to sleep at night result. So she's quite happy with that result. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's a win, at least.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Looks like Jason, Michael.
Jason, go ahead.
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I have a share. So I haven't told this story yet, but I had injured myself. I was helping a friend move a heavy safe. The safe was a monstrosity. It was like the size of a refrigerator, like a gun safe. This was last year, and I had a hand truck, and I kind of jerked the thing, and I injured my rotator cuffs, both of them, but the left one more so. And but the pain didn't kick in right away. But after about a week or so, it started really hurting, and so much so that just driving the car it would hurt. And so I started. I put the patches. I decided, I should put the patches, the 39 right on it. So I started doing that, and then I decided, well, since I have an injury, I started double patching it. I was starting to put 2 patches of the 39 on it because I wanted to expedite the healing. And then I noticed that my right shoulder was also hurting. So I've been double patching. So I've been patching the 39, 49 Eon and a glutathione on each shoulder for about 5 months, I would say. And the pain is greatly reduced. It would bother me when I was doing when I was going to the gym, especially incline chest presses. It would really hurt. I couldn't do them. But now the pain is like almost completely gone. It's not quite gone, but it's amazing how much less that my shoulders hurt. So I just wanted to give that share. And also my skin, my entire body, my skin is so soft. I can't believe how soft my skin is. It's insane. It's insane. It's so soft that I don't know if you guys are familiar with that KT tape or kinesiology tape that people tape up parts of their body if there's an injury or to provide more support. So I've been taping up my shoulders, and when I ripped off the tape, since my skin is so soft, it actually tore the skin. So I had an injury from removing the tape. I'm not using the tape anymore, but that's how soft my skin is now. So, but that's healed too. So glory to God for these patches.
All right. Great, Jason. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Okay, just a quick one. I just added Nick, Sally's husband. I just put his TED Talk down there for anybody that wants to hear it. It's brilliant. And thank you, Nick, for joining us. But I thought people might want to hear his TED Talk because it's pretty profound. Okay.
Ah, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Carrie.
Good evening, Michael and everyone. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, got you good.
Good. Awesome. All right. Well, I was able to get my parents on the patches 9 months ago. My stepdad is 73 and my mom is 77, and they're go-getters. They're not slowing down. They're in good health, never been on medications. So, but my mother, let's see, she has had both knees, total knee replacements in the last year, and healed pretty good. And I had given a testimony after her first leg was done. She was extremely sore right on her stitches and incision, and I was able to use IceWave, and within a matter of a couple minutes, that pain was gone. So that was cool. But since then, her feet have been hurting, and we think it's probably because they've been bracing. During the healing process, I think her feet have been tense trying to do the balancing and the protecting, and so now her feet are really sore. So a couple months ago, her left arch was hurting really bad, and I said, okay, well, I told her, because I wasn't there, I'm like, the easiest thing to tell her, I said, just put your X-39, X-49, and Eon just right there, right around the pain, just slap them on, And so she did that, and wasn't too long, like maybe 20 minutes later, she definitely felt an easing up of the pain. But then I said, you just keep wearing this for a week or two until, you notice a great change. And so she did. And then it was gone. And I remember one day asking her a couple weeks in, I'm like, so how's your foot? She's like, oh, she's like, well, I guess it's okay. I said, okay, well, good. And then her right foot started hurting, same thing. And so this time it was almost worse. She's been almost wasn't able to walk on it because she's been doing a lot of outside stuff, And so told her the same thing. And then it was still aching. And I said, okay, let's add IceWave on the bottom of your feet for that whole body energy flow to help with body pain. And then, I'm sorry, I meant energy enhancer on the bottom of her feet. And then the IceWave on the sore foot. I said, put the tan one right with the sorest. And then of course, we kind of chose the straight through arrow technique. So that second patch ended up right around, outside their foot on the ankle bone. So it was perfect because that's kind of where the patches are placed anyway on that area. And then also the X-39 on that foot and the X-39 on the other foot. And she once again noticed an immediate improvement and she can walk. And it's like, I would say maybe she's got a level 1, 2 pain, but nothing like it was. So that is amazing. So praise God. And that's all I got for tonight.
That's fabulous. Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Brother Swami.
I want to thank you for bringing up the shoulder cuff tear because otherwise I would have not even realized. I had a shoulder cuff tear or have one theoretically in my right shoulder for a few years. And it's gotten better over the years, even though I was told I had to have a surgery and I will never do that. But I realized now that you said that, Jason, that it's totally gone. I can move my arm in ways that I couldn't before. And this is like 2 months and change on the X30. I'm using X39, X49, glutathione, not every day anymore because that's a little too much. What else do I use? That's pretty much all I use right now. I started with iWeb also in the beginning and Ian. So thank you, Jason.
Excellent. Thanks, Mother Swami. Barbara.
I just have one thing. I was glad to hear you started with Cellergize. For anyone, I doubt if there's anyone on here, surely, that hasn't tried it already. But it's so important that people know that those ingredients are going to get into our bloodstream instantly. It's not like taking a supplement that has to go through the digestive system and you hope you get a fourth of it absorbed and all that kind of stuff. And I had someone that didn't quite understand that. And so I told her, I said, well, do me a favor. Drink as much of the Cellergize as you can on an empty stomach. If your body is accustomed to absorbing things quickly, you could get what we call a niacin flush. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. But man, if you do, it doesn't hurt you or anything, but I just tell her, you're going to say, thank you, Jesus. Because once that happens, you know that it has dilated your blood vessels and is saying, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. And you're going to get so much benefit from that Cellergize that you've been paying a fortune for all the ingredients and other things, which I have gone through and saying, I'm not getting that anymore, I'm not getting this, not getting this. I'm going to save so much money. I mean, one ingredient I was paying $45 for. This is only $69. You get it all, and it's going to get right into your system. And if you're not familiar with what each one of those ingredients do, for goodness sakes, go online and research every one of them. And you're going to see how this one's going to help detox your liver. And this one's going to add this. This is going to flush out this. And you're going to see where David, why he created that for us. Now then, our patches can work even better, especially if we do what everybody's suggesting. Drink that water. Got to have the water. It's very, very, very important because our bodies are electrical. You got to have it. So bless your Cellergize and enjoy it when you get it. I mean, it's the first thing I did this morning. I still had a little bit left that David had given us, but man, did I order first thing. Had it on my to-do list to get me some more because I don't ever want to be without it. So you guys bless it and enjoy it and see that your patches are going to work even better for you. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, that's awesome. Thanks, Barbara. And it is, I think it's delicious and it's energizing right when you drink it. David had a little talk where he talked about all the people within seconds of drinking Cellergize, you know, were energized, and I feel that every time I drink it. I'm looking forward to having plenty of it.
And you
so
can
I don't have
take
to
it with
ration
food. You don't have to do the empty stomach. You can take it with food.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But man, I love it. Boy, when it happened, all it needs to do is do it one time. And then you'll gradually get where your body won't have those wonderful flushes. But I don't know if anybody's ever had one or not, but you can just feel the blood going through your system. And my elbows even got red. So it's like, whoa, this is great. I'm alive.
That's it. Mother Swami.
Different, but you just hear me talk about thanking Jason about the shoulder cover, or was that something else?
So your connection is a little bit choppy.
Maybe turn off your video and just talk.
Mother Swami, turn off your video and then just talk.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, it seems to be. Go ahead.
I had just started talking, thanking Jason for mentioning the shoulder cuff tear, and then my connection got out. So I apologize. I don't know if that was in there. Jason was talking about the shoulder cuff tear, and I really appreciated that because I realized that that's something that's not an issue for me anymore. I wouldn't have even realized. So after 2 months and a change, now that's totally not a thing. I can move my shoulder, my arm normal ways that I wasn't able before. It wasn't a huge thing, but definitely my joints are becoming better and better too. And the other thing I can report is another of the mothers that have been through a lot of horrible things in Europe has joined one of the other mothers, and it was beautiful to see how the initial mother in Europe that only started on the patches a couple of weeks ago already is now way more focused, energized. She looks more radiant. She looks just way better than before. And people are mentioning her too, like what she's doing, what is helping her. So I'm very grateful for that.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, thanks for sharing. And we're close to the end. We'll go ahead and call it here, guys. If you want to unmute and say goodnight, lots of love to you guys, and we'll see you guys next Monday.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank
Happy.
you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good to see
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, Jay.
Thanks.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Michael.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Casey Joe.